What's up?
What's up? Not much. Just got home.
Yeah?
Yeah, just got some sick pants.
Oh, hey, by the time this episode comes out, the new Pokemon games will be out. So, Morg, tell us tell us how the new Pokemon game is
Oh,
for everyone listening on Monday.
Shit! It's great.
Okay.
I love to play. I've been playing it so much.
I've been hearing some reports that Game Freak lied.
See, yeah.
Can you confirm nor deny?
No. See, I think the hashtag is Game Freaklade, which I think is a new company. I think it's a spin-off of Game Freak. That's what I've been interpreting. And I guess, like, some of their, like, stuff is wonky and it looks a lot like Pokemon. That's all I got.
Gotcha. Okay. So that's... Okay, I think I get you now. But so Pokemon Dog and Pokemon Other Dog, they're good games?
Yes.
I am not one of the people who is just fucking throwing a shit fit about the entire thing.
No.
Those legendaries are not good.
They're not the best. I like a lot.
Rather,
it's
not that they're not good, it's that, like, they are... I have never seen two legendaries look so identical.
They look similar, yeah. No, but, like,
Like, especially, like, maybe, I mean, like, you can look at, like, the three, like, the genie Pokemon that I can't remember what their names are.
The ones that Stephanie hates?
Yeah, the ones that Steph and Matt hate. Like, those do look kind of similar, but, like, for, like, the Pokemon that the box cover legendaries and having them look that similar, it's just a weird call.
Yeah, I would think they would maybe pick, like, a different animal for them. Like, they can still have, like, the shield chest and the sword and mouth or whatever.
This was the perfect time for Game Freak to give us a real fucking tiger. I know Raiku's a tiger. Don't fucking at me. Raikou is a saber-toothed tiger, which is a very specific and extinct type of tiger. I'm talking a Bengal tiger. I am talking I forgot the other type of tigers. I want a motherfucker with 4 paws, a 3 face, and some stripes.
That'd be pretty.
I guess Arcanine is kind of that.
Arcanine's like a dog, though.
Yeah, I googled tiger Pokemon the other day, and the second result was after Raikou was Arcanine.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, to part the kimono a little bit, the game is actually coming out midnight tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been actually, like, avoiding a lot of the Pokemon because I didn't avoid Sun and Moon. At all. Like, I fucking absorbed everything I could about them. So I was like, maybe I'll try it this way. So, and I've done, like, a decent job. I know what, like, the 3 starters final evolution looks like and stuff now, but, like, that's about it. I mean, since it's out, yeah, and I know there's some fun others, like, a couple, like, rando things, but, like, yeah. I mean, there's... I don't know. I am excited, but I understand some of the complaints. I just don't understand the shit fit people are throwing. It's like, dude, there's a lot to there's stuff to complain about with a big, like, game company, but, like, not having the full decks or, like, not, you know, what was it, having, like, seeing leaks and, like, being mad about the shadows is not one of them, you know.
Yeah,
it's just silly. I don't know. I'm sure, like, I feel like I could talk more about that, but, like, Pokemon's not horror.
If you asked me, the real horror is every Pokemon nerd being mad online this week.
Oh shit!
Ha 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 ha. Title music. waiting, everyone. It's your number one, I'm not doing a superlative this week because I don't want to spoil anything podcast. I'm Sarah, and joining me this week is friend of the pod, friend of the network, friend of the me for over a decade? Like,
yeah.
We met in 2006, so God, like, I've known you for 13 years.
Jesus Christ.
Friend of the me, Morg, is here.
Hello. I'm Morg.
Morg, introduce yourself a little bit. Tell us what your history with horror is and such and such.
Well, my cat just attacked my hand, so that was horrible. That was horrible.
Gizmo demands his time in this. Gizmo demands his time in the limelight.
Yes. Yeah, so I'm Morgan. I fucking I feel like I've seen a lot of movies that I'm not sure are horror. Like, I was just talking to you earlier that I was like, is Paprika horror? And then I'm like, thinking back, I'm like, oh yeah, it's scary. And like, obviously you've done it for this podcast.
I mean, there were discussions on that episode about whether or not that movie actually did qualify as a horror movie.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, I said yes, but Blair said that it had horror elements, but was not itself a horror movie. And we agreed to disagree, and that's why Blair's off the podcast now.
Damn. No, but there's like, I've seen like a lot of like animated stuff like that. I've seen Paprika.
Stuff that's like disturbing, but not exactly what you might call, depending on like what you would call a horror movie. Like, for example, like the that one ghost in Spirited Away always scared me as a kid. I thought that ghost was really scary, but Spirited Away is very much not a horror movie. It's weird it's a weird thing to define. But go on.
Yeah, like and I feel like it's been a while since I've like really watched a bunch, but like I've seen like The Ring, I've seen The Shining, I've seen like I definitely saw horror more when I was younger. Like, I watched like 2 or 3 of the Paranormal Activities and stuff like that, because I had like one of my friends in high school was like extremely into horror, and I just like went along for the ride. So yeah.
So before we get into this episode proper, I am just going to go ahead and say that I'm going to put a big spoiler warning on this, and I implore you, if you have not seen Parasite, put this episode on delay, wait until you have seen this movie. Like, before we even start the discussions, I'm putting this here, because I went into this movie almost completely in the dark, aside from what I had seen in like a trailer. And I was completely knocked on my ass, and I think it is probably a movie that is best experienced from being in the dark.
Yeah, like, despite what I was talking about with Pokemon earlier, I'm not someone who cares that much about spoilers, usually. Mm-hmm. But I agree, like, if you can see it, like, do. I mean, if you can't, obviously, like, we're gonna still go over it, but, like, it's... I didn't even know with the trailer. Like, I didn't know anything. You were just like, hey, you want to see a movie? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And I fucking loved it. But... yeah.
So, before we do that, though, we have to go to upcominghorrormovies.com, a website that has had broken image links for the last 4 times I checked it, and it continues to have broken image links everywhere.
I'm sorry, he's being...
I have no idea if that's on me or if it's just like...
What is
I think it's just because I have my ad blocker on, and my ad blocker is catching the images and saying bad. But anyways, I digress. There is nothing too much I'm looking at here that's interesting, except for a movie called Do Not Reply, which I'm really curious what the hell that's about. Oh, okay.
You're cutting out a little.
Here you go. Here's a plot pitch for you. Chelsea, a teenager, is abducted through a social media app by Brad and is held captive with other girls who are to become victims in his virtual reality filmed murders.
I hate that.
Yeah, me too.
I hate that so much. Okay.
This is definitely a bit of a dead zone for upcominghorrormovies.com. I feel like there's not too I feel like there's not too much in the way of horror movies that's relatively promising on the horizon. This just kind of feels like a shunting of things before the year comes to a close.
Yeah.
But I digress. You want to talk about fucking Parasite?
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna run this more like an episode of the on-screens would be, where I give just like a pretty brief synopsis of the plot, and then we can just talk about the shit that we liked about it.
Okay. Because it's so recent, or
that, and also I just kind of like I did not get a chance to take notes on this movie, so I do not have as solid a concept of the exact like timeline of events. So I'm just going to try and just give a quick rundown of what happened, and then we can talk about a lot of the stuff that we liked, which was a lot. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, I don't have notes for this either. Usually I take, like, if I'm on, like, podcasts like this, I usually take a lot of notes, but not this time.
Yep. So the movie is about a family, Kim Ki-taek, his wife Chung-suk, his son Ki-woo, and daughter Ki-jung. They live in a fucking shithole. Ki-woo's friend Min-hyuk is like, hey, do this job, it's well paying, and so Ki-woo poses as pretends to be a university student to be an English tutor for a very wealthy family, the Park family. Eventually, or slowly, well, not really slowly, pretty quickly, the rest of the Kims work their way into being employed by the Park family, all obviously under pseudonyms. Ki-jung is pretending to be an art therapist and just making up bullshit, and is extremely funny.
It's so good.
Chung-suk is the housekeeper after they faked it so that the old housekeeper, Moon Gwang, they made it look like she had tuberculosis. And Kim Ki-taek is the limo driver, because they framed the old limo driver as having big, nasty sex in the car. The Parks go on a camping trip. The Kims occupy the mansion and are just like living long dick style. But then the housekeeper, Moon Gwang, shows back up and is like, hey, I forgot something in the basement. Can I come in? And they're like, I guess. And then they go into the basement. They find that there is a secret sub-basement where Moon Gwang's husband, oh my god, what the hell's his name?
It's Gisa?
Gunsei.
Gunsei,
Yep.
yeah.
So they go into the basement. They find Moon Gwang's husband, Gunsei, and they're basically like the entire gimmick of the Kims is revealed, or the entire secret of the Kims is revealed. And there's a huge scuffle over this because the Parks are coming home because of the weather. They kick her ass down the stairs, and she suffers a fatal concussion. Gunsei is just being stashed down there, and then the next day there's a big old birthday party, and shit breaks bad after Gunsei manages to free himself from his fucking bondages and gets out of the basement. Clobbers Ki-woo with a rock, and then he fucking stabs. Who does he stab? He stabs
the sister, the Ki-jung, right?
Yes. He just stabs Ki-jung in the chest. And then everything breaks bad. The Kim Ki-taek stabs Mr. Park, the big wealthy man, and kills his ass. Then he just kind of disappears into the ether. A couple months later, Kiwoo is just kind of like chilling outside the old park house, which has been sold, and he notices a Morse code coming from one of the lights, which he knows is controlled in the basement, and he decodes a Morse message from his father saying, "Hey, I'm down here. Kind of sucks." And the movie ends with a letter from Kiwoo in which he vows to earn enough money one day to buy the mansion and free his dad.
Yeah. That end there got a little, cause like the geese. I'm gonna
Gearson.
Geese.
Gunsei.
Oh my god, I'm gonna like fuck this up so bad. I could do it like if we had done this like maybe the day after the movie, I probably would have done it like all right. But yeah, he was killed too. Did you say that part? He was like killed.
What's that? Gunsei?
Yeah, he was killed because he killed the daughter. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Chung Suk, the mother, kills Gunsei, and then Kitai kills Mr. Park, because Mr. Park smells a homeless smell, a poor smell on the corpse of Gunsei as he moves his corpse to pick up his keys, and Kitai just goes fucking apeshit, and it's good.
It's good. It sounds bad, but if you watch it, it's good.
Yeah.
It builds up to that. Like, it's very interesting.
Let's talk some shop about this movie. So the thing is, the reason that you brought I originally wasn't thinking about doing this movie, but you pitched it to me as though because it had been sort of advertised as a horror movie, which I hadn't really thought about, but it absolutely had. The ad campaign definitely was misconceived, like supposed to provide a misconception of this being a horror movie, and it wasn't. It was a drama comedy. It was a dramedy.
Yeah, it was kind of pitched that way, and like one of the first articles I like looked up after the movie, it was like, want to see a smart horror movie for this Halloween or something? Because we watched it on Halloween. So it was what?
We didn't watch it on Halloween. Did we watch it on Halloween?
Yeah.
What the fuck? We watched that movie on Halloween?
Yeah.
What in the hell?
Yeah, that's why I was in the Charmander onesie.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's weird to think about. Anyways, continue.
No, it was like I didn't know what to expect. I was like, since I literally knew nothing, I was like, prepare. I was like, am I going to be jump scared? Blah, blah, blah. Because I didn't know shit.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I like horror movies, but like, if I can, I have to prepare myself for like jump scare stuff because I'm just an anxious baby. But, there was nothing. Like, there was none. And, I mean, that doesn't mean anything. Like, but there wasn't the scariest thing about it. Like, other than, I mean, the only thing that, sorry, I'm having a lot of trouble putting this in the words, but, like, there were, like, weird things that happened that could be, like, the fact that, like, that guy lived in the basement was kind of, like, odd. And, like, I was like, okay, I guess that could be a horror element. It's spooky. Like, this dude just creeps around in the basement. Like, that's, And then, like, the killing. Like, okay, yeah, some murder happens, so, like, but there's like, a reason for it. And everything that leads up to it it's not like the actual scariest thing is like the fucking, like, not to be cheesy, but like the scariest thing was like the capitalism. It was the fucking class difference between the families.
Yeah.
Like the scariest thing was like how fucking stark it was. Like it like it starts.
Yeah, I think this is this is probably best illustrated by the scene in like the like launch that lurches us into the third act, which is when the massive downpour of rain starts. The Parks are coming home. The Kims have to like race to get all the shit cleaned up so that they don't get caught as just like fucking around in their kitchen, in their home, and then they return to their own home and it has just been flooded. Like, just absolutely flooded. Like, it is chest-high water. And,
Yeah.
like, I think the illustration there of, like, the fact that the worst thing that happens to the rich in the rain is that they have to cancel their camping trip, but the poor just fucking lose everything.
Yeah, like, so, to give maybe a little context, the main family's, like, house is kind of underground. It's kind of like below ground level, and so all the like, water just kind of like from the rain, like it sets up like, oh, it's raining a lot, oh, that's so annoying for this Park family. And it was annoying.
Yeah,
and then
don't close the windows. We'll get one of my favorite scenes in the movie, which was also foreshadowing for this, was when they see like an exterminator coming by to just like spray the streets with insecticide, and they're like, don't close the dad is like, hey, don't close the windows. We get a free fumigation, and then like 10 seconds after they spray, like they're just all fucking running out of the room because they can't breathe.
Yeah, like, and it's because they're like below the ground, and like the windows stay open while they're at the park's like big house, so all the water just fucking gets into it, and like it's disgusting. Like the toilet is fucking
exploding
and I'm like, Jesus. Like, there's I mean, Wikipedia calls it a small semi-basement apartment. That's a good way of describing it.
Yeah.
And but like, yeah, before, like, it's like very interesting also, like, just how it all sets up from like the family like takes over the jobs at the Parks place by like doing schemes, and it's like very funny actually, and like it's very much like a dark comedy. It starts off as like being like way funnier than I was expecting.
Yeah, this movie is really like rip roaring hilarious for like the first, like the last like 15 minutes are without jokes. Maybe the last 20 minutes I wasn't keeping a timer or anything. But the movie is really, really funny up until the point where it's not anymore.
Yeah, like even like things like the fucking shit that Ki Jong was like making up to be the art.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious. Where she's like, what did she say? This is like the pervert corner of the art.
Yeah, like I was like, what the fuck? At first I was like, what? Because she was like saying some like dumb mental illness stuff, but then I was like, oh, she's just talking out of her ass. Yeah, and it was just like very like, and it worked. Like,
yeah,
she's a good actor. Like, I mean, obviously the actor herself is good, but I meant like the character is a good actor.
Yeah.
And
she also spawned the which I have seen is apparently like the meme of this movie, which is her Jessica song.
I didn't even like when you
don't know what I'm talking about when I say the Jessica song, like the part where she like before she shows up at the Parks house for the first time, where she stops Kiwoo and is like, Jessica, da, 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 and just like keeping a bit of a patter with it.
Oh, because she's trying to remember like what it is, like what.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
The Jessica song.
When you said the Jessica song in the tweet, I was like, "What the fuck is the Jessica song?" I knew that was her like fake name, but, yeah, and oh my god, like there's so many like, and then like she's just like, she's so fucking smart, like with her like weird fucking art editing skills, and then like she put her like underwear in the car to make the car driver, like, seem like a perv and get fired so her dad could be put into place. And
I was kind of surprised that the driver didn't come back up in the mix of things.
no, yeah, I didn't at first think he would, but the fact that the housekeeper
Moon Guang.
Yeah, the fact that Moon Guang came back up and, like, yeah, they, they got the housekeeper Moon Guang out so that, like, the mom could come in by, like, pretending, like, making her peach allergy, like, react, and they, like, made it look like she had tuberculosis, but, yeah, I didn't, like, she came back, so I thought the driver might come back or something.
Yeah.
Or, like, I thought maybe, Ki-woo's friend would come back. He didn't come back at all either.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't need to. I just thought he might.
I think an interesting thing about the whole Gunsei thing, where the guy living under the house, is just like, I mean, I didn't really understand it until I read it somewhere, but, like, my brain, like, it's the most obvious shit in the world that, like, the like, fucking, the poor man just literally living directly under the rich man.
Yeah. Yeah, and then also,
the poor man is shown as being, like, smarter and, like, more wily and, like just, like, he is shown to be really competent at living down there and using Morse code.
Yeah.
And Mr. Park is just, like, not, like, there are moments where you think Mr. Park might actually be smart, because, like, there's a moment that's like really sticking out in my head when he first finds the underwear and is discussing the underwear that incriminates his driver and is talking about it with his wife. There was a moment where I thought he was gonna, like, this seems weird though. Why did he put it here? Oh, it must just be because he was really, really horny.
Yeah, and then they fucking... Ugh, the fact the underwear comes back up again.
Yeah, the wife wears those.
Oh my god, the wife was so fucking funny. Like, and
yeah, I genuinely loved the wife in this movie.
She was just so weird. I was like, why is she, like, half asleep all the time? And then, like, later you find out she's just, like, a fucking, like, on drugs. But, like, it's she just has, like, the weirdest, like, line, like, not the weirdest line, but she has, like, the weirdest, like, thoughts, and she's just, like, very easy to, like, con, you know, like,
yeah, she doesn't seem like, well, I wasn't gonna say she doesn't seem stupid, but she does kind of seem stupid.
Yeah, or, like, if not stupid, then just uncaring, or, like, you know, like, very airheaded. And I'm like,
yeah, she very much wants what's best for her kid, but, like, does not seem to see, like, past the first solution, the first, like, help for her kid. And as soon as something that's, like, slightly better for her kid, she just throws out the first thing, which is, like, why you see Moon Guang get fired, like, immediately for her tuberculosis, which is just, like, they don't want to have it. They don't want to have that around the kid, sure, but, like, they literally just throw this woman out on the streets to just be at the mercy of these loan sharks that are chasing her down.
And they don't, like, ask her about it either. Like, you know, they just are like, oh, we have to come up with, like, a fake reason to fire, or, like, not a fake reason, but they are just like, they don't bring it up to her. They don't ask her about it. They aren't like, hey, why are you bringing this stuff around our children? That's fucked up. They're like, nope, she's out of here, because they trust, you know, they trust I keep forgetting the main family's last name.
The Kims.
No, the Kims. Duh. Yeah, okay. The Kims and the Parks, but, like,
yep.
Yeah, they, like, trust the Kims. I mean, they don't know that they're the Kims. They don't know that they're all related. They don't, you know, they're all posing as fake people, like, but they still are starting to trust them, like, really fast because they have no reason not to, kind of, like,
Yeah.
in their mind, obviously. Like, yeah, they're lying, but, like, they're doing a good job, you know?
Yeah. I think that another thing that's really interesting to me about this movie is the fact that like there's so much violence between the poor, but so much damage inflicted by the poor onto the poor in this movie that suffers little to no consequence. But the first time that a rich person is harmed in this movie, which is admittedly when one of them is murdered, but still, the first time that a poor person takes action against takes physical action against a rich person, it is like the entire kettle just fucking explodes. Like there is no mention of like the man who like there's like a flash forward for like a couple of weeks later, and there's like just there's news everywhere about the death of Mr. Park, and nobody, and of course no one remembers the death of Gunsai, the man, or the Gunsai, the man who emerged from the basement, or the girl that he killed, Ki Jong.
Yeah, they don't care about the daughter. They don't care about Basement Man. They don't.
Yeah, and granted, that's because I think it's kind of because Park's murderer is still uncaught, but still.
Yeah.
Like, they do so much there is so much damage dealt to poor people in this movie, and the only thing that is dealt, the only damage that is dealt to the rich is that they are, I mean, I guess whatever, they're getting fleeced, but like it's that, and then also that Mr. Park dies, and that's it. And I think that's shrimp interesting.
It is interesting, and like we're not, it's interesting. And it's interesting, like, why Mr. Park gets murdered. Because, like, if you just see, like, that scene, like, obviously not within the context of the movie, it's like, oh, he got murdered after he smelled the dead person and was like, oh, he smells bad. Like, and it's like, okay,
Yeah.
That's a weird reason to kill someone, but, like, obviously, the rest of the movie, I don't know why I keep saying obviously, it's not.
It's okay.
But
vocal tics.
He keeps talking about the smell. He keeps bringing it up. He keeps talking about, oh, they smell, or like, oh, the driver, aka the Kim Ki-taek, smells, and it's like, oh, they all smell, and like at first, it's kind of played as like sort of a jokey thing because it's like, oh, they all smell the same, like the little Park boy is saying they all smell the same, so they're like all afraid that they're gonna get caught in the act of being like pretending of being frauds and not being family. But then it gets brought up later, and like he opens the window and he like is very much treating it like, ugh, this smell, and like eventually when it shows Gunsei like is dead and smells the same, like he does the same like disgusted face, it's like, oh, he's smelling with poor, like he's like, ooh, the poor people smell, and it's like,
yeah. And also the reason I don't think we mentioned earlier, but the reason that Mr. Park like has to lift Gunsei's body is to fetch his car keys because his child is having a seizure, which, don't get me wrong, kids having seizures bad, but also there are like 2 dead people on your lawn now.
Oh, who's having a seizure? Wait.
His kid.
Oh, yeah.
The little one. The little kid started having a seizure, I think.
Okay, I thought they were just trying to... Okay, my memory's terrible. I thought they were just trying to leave because it was like, oh, there's all this murder happening, this sucks. But yeah, no, they're like, seizure bad, but like, seizure is not as bad as dead person. Mm-hmm. Like, they should have, I don't know, called an ambulance or something. Or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, we have to take care of the kid.
Mm-hmm.
Even though, like, he's probably alright.
Probably. Seizures, I don't know. Seizures in kids, I don't know.
Better safe than sorry. That's right. He was having, I'm looking at now, he was having a seizure because he was having, he was, like, triggered by Gunsei, because...
yes, because of that really fucking funny scene where where the kid Dasong was up late one night and he saw, quote unquote, a ghost with really big eyes coming out of the basement, and it was just Gunsei coming out of his well to shame mankind. But he was very scared of this man, and it's a really funny scene that sets that up. And then he sees the eyes later and is like, "Oh shit, seizure time."
And it's the whole, actually the traumatic, like this like Gunsei like thing happening is kind of what made it like easier for Kijong to be like, I'm an art therapist and I'm helping and stuff, because they were like, oh, he had a traumatic experience, so he needs art therapy because he had this wild experience. And
a crazy man looked at him.
Yeah, it's like, oh, he had a ghost, but it's like, no, there really is someone under your house.
Yeah.
And just, yeah, and the when you were talking about like the violence against like poor versus poor people, kind of, that just like reminded me of like how Moon Guang and Gunsei.
Moon Guang.
What?
Moon Guang. That's just her name. Moon Guang.
Yeah, Moon Guang and Gunsei like versus the Kim family, because when Moon Guang like came back in to like get her husband out, essentially, or at least like see him or feed him, that's what it was feed him, they were like gonna fucking call the cops on them. Like the Kim family were like, wow, why are you here? We're gonna call the cops on you, instead of like letting them stay there, because it's like, well, it was almost like they fucking forgot where they came from, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Like there is they got like a taste of the high life, and like they abandon it by the end of the movie. But there is a moment in there when they are tasting that high life, and I think it kind of comes to a head when I think this kind of comes to its thematic conclusion, really, when they're all sitting around the table and just talking about, like, just eating food, making a huge mess, and just talking about shit. And the mother, Chung-suk, turns to Ki-taek and is like, "You are a fucking cockroach, you piece of shit." And then they both start laughing, and then they get the call from Mr. Park that says, "Hey, we'll be there in 5 minutes," and then they just scatter like cockroaches. Like I feel like that is, if not the moment, then a moment where they just kind of get pulled back down, because that's also immediately followed up by them returning to their home, which has been flooded to fuck out.
Yeah. Well, yeah, actually the Parks coming home was in the middle of like them fighting with Moon Guang.
Mm-hmm.
And
right. Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought it was like they just had to like the fact they just had to fucking listen to the parents having sex.
Oh, that was so. So when the Parks get home, oh my god, Chung-suk is the mother and the housekeeper, and everyone else has to pretend that they are not there, by which they just fucking dive under the living room table and stay there for hours. They stay there as oh my god, why am I so bad with these names?
The two Park adults, I know it's
well, no, the Park adults as well as Da-song, they all come home, and Da-song's like, I want to go set up my tent outside, and so he does that, and I'm terrified in this moment that he's going to get struck by lightning and fucking die.
Yeah, I think someone else we went with thought that was going to happen too, but no.
Yeah, they just have to sit there, and the kid does that, and then the parents start just like fucking on the couch. There's that line about the wife wearing the panties that they found in the car.
Yeah.
And this is when they overhear Mr. Park remark that Ki-taek smells of poor people.
Yeah, they're like, oh, that smell is still lingering because they're under the table. The Parks still don't realize that, but like they still like smell it. And I'm like, damn, they're dumb as shit. Like, hello? You know, there were like all these opportunities for them to like figure it out, and they didn't.
They're not very wise.
Yeah.
But
they don't need to be. They're rich. They don't need to be.
Yeah, they're fucking rich as hell. Who give a shit?
But yeah. Oh, Sarah, you gotta talk about the stuff you found. I know it's fucking stupid, but all the...
yeah, let me... Not to just, like, dredge out bad takes, but hold on. I'm gonna find the...
Because it...
I need to read a snippet from... I was looking... The day after we saw the movie, I went on Reddit.
That was your first mistake.
Yeah, I went on reddit.com/r/flicks. And, I was, like, just, r/flicks is a pretty decent subreddit for movie discussion. But then I was like, well, there's not a lot of people here talking about it. What if I went to r/movies, which is, like, the general movies conversation? And here are some takes. This is regarding the fact that Kitek murdered someone. I think it follows his character. He is a parasite, a selfish piece of shit. Even the wife earlier in the movie mocked him, saying he is just like a cockroach that runs and hides when the light comes on. In his letter, he briefly mentions his son's injuries and his daughter's death, then pretends to talk about him and his struggles and how he is dealing with them. Someone responds, that's a great detail for rewatches, and he selfishly took Park's life instead of taking care of his family and grieving with them. Instead, he murdered somebody and proceeds to mooch off the house for eternity.
Yeah, like... Okay, so...
How many levels of not getting this movie are you on?
But, like, when that happened, I was, like, when I read that, like, because you sent it, and, like, I was like, man, so many people are gonna, like, read into that. Because, no, the Kims aren't nice people, but they're still, like, you can still see, like, oh, yeah, they're the protagonists. Like, they're still, like... the people, they kind of can't be nice people because of, like, how they live. And it's, like, they're not it's like the person writing that thing is, like, someone from the Park family. Someone who's, like, just didn't fucking, like, get it. Like, you know, because if the Parks, like, knew the Kims were doing all this, they would call them parasites. Like, they would be like, oh, you're just poor people trying to fucking get my money or whatever.
Yeah. But I think if... I'm curious to watch this movie back and see how much time you spend watching the Kims do work on screen versus how much you see the Parks doing any work on screen.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what I'm like genuinely racking my brain to think of, like, the smallest things that the Parks do that might be considered, like, work or anything. And
does the mom work?
No, and, like, Mr. Park, like, is, like, in a meeting when we first meet him, but, like, that's just him being CEO.
Yeah, he just was he was, like, in a meeting when, like, because Kitak was gonna be the fucking driver, but, like, we see him working all the time. We see him working as a driver. We see the even when Kiwoo is, like, having the weird, like, relationship with the daughter that he's teaching, like, he's still teaching her.
Yeah.
Like
they're all, like, yeah, they're all still, like, maybe you make an exception for Kijong. Like, it's hard to it's based because of how much bullshitting she's doing. You might question if that's, like, working, but she's still, like, spending time with the kid and helping the kid and, like, all of that stuff. Like,
and she still, like, put in the work. Like, she's still fucking a genius. Like, she did
her brain is still fucking massive.
Her brain is massive. No, but I'm just, like, remembering her making the photoshopped, like,
yes,
college
that was such a good joke
thing. She's like, yep, I went to school.
And then the dad's like, are there any jobs in forgery?
Yeah.
I am running out of things to say about the movie. At least with it so far, if this was more recent, I kind of wish I'd had a chance to sit down and get my thoughts on paper on this movie earlier, but that's not really anyone's fault. But yeah.
I mean,
it's a good fucking movie.
I guess I can it's just like
What's
a
up?
very no. I'm just like trying to think of I was gonna say like something else about it because it's like very. It's a very interesting, like, very class-conscious movie, but, and it's very interesting that at the end, you know, the letter between, Kitek and, Kiwoo where Kiwoo is, like, writing a letter to his dad, because he's currently living underneath the mansion because he's trying to avoid being caught as a murderer, and the whole like letter exchange between them, he's like, hey, I'm gonna try to do a thing because he knows his dad is underneath because he saw like the Morse code flickering, and he said like, I'm gonna try to get a degree and get the mansion and get all the money, and like and it was like at first it was like, oh, you know, he's trying to get all this money. It seems kind of like this not betrayal's not the right word, but like this, like, oh, he's trying to lift himself up by the bootstraps or whatever, and it seemed like, and I didn't think that, like, when I was watching the movie, I was actually, like, I teared up during that. I was like, oh, he's gonna save his dad, but, because I'm big baby, but, like,
we
later,
are all baby.
But later I was like, oh, wait, that kind of, you know, if it had just ended with, like, him getting the mansion, it would have been like, oh, that's kind of a betrayal. But like, no, it was just like it actually ends with it going back to him writing the letter, and it could have been either like, you could see that like, oh, that did happen in the future, or it could be like, oh, he's imagining that happening.
Yeah.
And I thought that was an interesting way of ending it, like, you know, did that happen, did it not? I don't know.
I don't think it did, in my onion.
Yeah,
I think it's more powerful if he. It's definitely a sadder ending, but I think it's more powerful if he doesn't. Like, in my mind, like Kiwoo is not able to break that cycle. Like, he is.
I think it's more realistic, unfortunately, that he probably doesn't. Like,
Yeah.
I think like he could, like, in theory, go get into school, because like at the beginning of the movie he's been like trying to get into school,
and his brain is very big,
and his brain is very large, even though he's a big goofy nerd, but
well, his brain might not be that big after he got fucking cartoon sound effect clonked on the head by a cool rock.
Yeah, that was rough. I was like, oh man, he's dead, and then he wasn't, but I was
genuinely shocked he wasn't dead.
I was like, he's fucking dead, dude. That's what, like, I feel like I said that during the movie, but like to myself, just like, oh, he's dead, dude. Damn.
Yeah.
But and the big rock that has been following him everywhere, the rock symbol.
What does the rock symbolize?
The symbolic rock. Well, the rock was kind of like...
To clarify, in the beginning of the movie, Kiwoo's friend who starts this entire thing off gives Kiwoo a rock, basically. Like a rock on a little stand. And it's a cool rock. And I don't know what it represents.
Oh, it's supposed to... And like, the friend said that it's supposed to bring, like, fortune and luck and stuff. Except, so it's like, oh, okay, so you could
right. I think I got that, but I meant more like what does it mean thematically? Because I've been told that sometimes the curtains are just fucking blue, but I don't think that's the case here.
No, probably not. I mean, it's you could see it that way. I mean, if you think about it that way at first or whatever, it's like, oh man, that's not giving enough credit to the Kims being like clever assholes. I am like, no, it was definitely them. Like, it wasn't like magic. Like, they got their jobs because of The Rock. But I do think it was...
Yeah, they got their jobs because of The Rock, and then also Kiwoo probably, like, suffered, like, prolonged damage to his brain.
Yeah. It was like, no, The Rock actually came back and bit him in the ass. Or the head, I guess.
Don't you hate it when you get bitten in the head and die?
And almost die, yeah.
Almost die.
But, yeah. I did, like... If I was, like, creating the ending, like, if I was, like, writing, I loved it's wild. I was, like, thinking after the movie, I was like, man, I liked that movie so much, but it just finished in such a good way that I don't want to, like, try to look up any, like, fic or anything about it. But anyway, like, if you were, like, writing, like, a fucking ending to Parasite or whatever, you could be like... I like the idea that Kiwoo still ends up going to school, but does not get fucking rich or whatever, or does not get the money to get his dad out of there. I think his dad is just fucked.
Yeah. So do you have anything else you'd like to say about this movie before we bring it to the close?
No, I mean, I think that's it. Like, I think,
okay.
There could be...
I've got one more thing to say about this movie that I thought was pretty cool, which is that you do not see the... I'm pretty sure that every single time that the Kims, like, begin... Like, every single time the Kims put on a show and pretend to be, the, like, servants, they are walking uphill. And then every single time they are returning to their regular lives... the shitty parts, they are seen walking downhill in some capacity.
That just goes with the whole, like, dude living in the basement and them living in a small semi-basement apartment. Like, them just being lower.
Yep.
Like, that just all fits together. I would not... If I had only seen... Like, since I've only seen the movie once, I would not have, like, registered that.
I didn't either. I found that one on Reddit.
Yeah.
But anyways, so we are going to go ahead and bring it to ratings.
Oh.
That's our stinger.
Oh, jeez.
For ratings.
I don't know how to rate things.
On a scale of 0 to 5 rocks that it would be fucked up to kill a guy on the moon with, how many rocks would be fucked up to kill a guy on the moon with do you give this movie? Because I'm just going full guns blazing 5 stars. This is like the best movie I've seen this. This movie is like in contention for the best movie I've seen this year because I also saw The Lighthouse literally right before I watched this movie.
Yeah,
so it's
the same damn day.
Yeah, I did movies, but yeah, this is a 5. Like this is in contention. This is in contention for my favorite movie of the decade.
Of the decade? Damn.
Yeah, like there's some good movies in there, I can't lie. Like there's The Duke of Burgundy is in there, Spider-Verse is in there, some other movies I'm certainly forgetting are in there, Coherence is in there.
I'm like tempted to also give it a 5. I think the only reason I would, I think the lowest I would give it is like a 4.5, so still fucking ridiculously high. I think like the only reason I would take half off is like there was something... Oh, I mean, it's not... I don't know if it's even a complaint, but more just like, I want to know what happened to the driver. But no, I feel like maybe that... I don't think that's fair to take that off for that. Or the friend. But like, I think I'm gonna say 5 also, actually. Which is surprising, because I'm very much... someone who hedges my bets, but like I just really fucking loved this movie.
Yeah, it was a good fucking movie. We have question.
I didn't.
This question that. From This question from Stephanie, Age of Oddish on Twitter, wants to know: hey gamers, if you were going to trick a rich idiot into letting you work for them, what would your job be? Personally, I'd love to be a shitty science advisor to a rich techie idiot like Elon Musk so that I could ruin his business. My answer to this is that I would love to be like I would love to like con my way into being like the graphic designer for someone's personal brand, and just like make things like graphic design is my passion level shit for them. And but convince them that it's like a new wave art thing.
I don't know. I mean, what if I like maybe I could like trick someone into thinking what if I like trick them into being like some like I want to make my way to being J.K. Rowling's editor and like edit her fucking yeah. Because I was like,
I just peaked my audio awfully. That's gonna sound like shit.
Because I was like, oh, I want to like do something with writing to like trick some shitty person, but I'm like, wait, who's the richest author I know? J.K. Rowling.
Joko Rowling.
But yeah, so I want to do that, and then like I want to get her to trust me enough that like I can just edit her shit to be saying like poo poo poopy. I don't know.
I mean, hey, did you read A Cursed Child? Might as well be that.
But
waka waka.
Or like if I edit it so much that it's actually my own writing, and like my own writing gets published.
Well, yeah, but then J.K. Rowling would be getting credit for like good authorship.
True. Damn.
And we can't have that. Like if J.K. Rowling's writing quality went up, I think that would be more suspicious than if it went down.
Damn.
Like, I think J.K. Rowling publishing a compelling manuscript in this day and age would be genuinely more surprising than her putting out a fucking a manuscript that just reads pee pee poop 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 pee 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 pee.
No. What actually like I'll submit like for my writing that I already have, because I can just put my Yu-Gi-Oh fanfic from Pot of Greed as
Control plus F Duke Devlin replaced with Mark.
God. Who's Mark?
I don't know, just some name that's not Duke Devlin.
Yeah, just make J.K. Rowling into a Yu-Gi-Oh fanfic writer.
Hell yeah. Now we're gonna move into recommendations. Morg, what the fuck is up, gamer?
I don't know. Recommending.
What is a thing you have watched or read or played or ate or did recently that you enjoyed a great deal? I can go first if you need some time.
Yeah.
All right. My recommendation this week is definitely gonna be it's gonna be Resident Evil 2, which is a game that I bought recently, and it is scary as fuck, and I can't play it for more than like 20 minutes at a time right now because it's that scary for me. And I love it. It's really fucking good. My only exposure to Resident Evil has been I played RE4 and that's it. I watched a Let's Play of RE7, but that's much later. So it's really cool to go back to like an earlier entry in this franchise, and it's just really fucking good.
It's cool that it's so scary, even though it's so, like, early in the franchise.
Well, it's a remake.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But still, like, the fact that it's like, oh, they nailed it, like, the second time. I'll just... I mean, I think I recommended this somewhere else, but, like, whatever, it wasn't on fear baiting. I've been writing... for NaNoWriMo because I hate myself, but like I've been getting a lot of ideas by playing this game called Spindlewheel. It's a free like card game based RPG, kind of tabletop RPG sort of thing. Like it's kind of in that genre of games. It's like 1 to like 5 players, so you can play it by yourself, but you can play with other people too, and it's just like a cool interpretive game. It's like you're kind of interpreting like they're like tarot like cards, and it's super cool, and it's in beta right now, so like there's just like free cards that you could print out, and it's the creator is like really receptive to if you're like having trouble with like roll 20 like I was, because I was trying to play it online. And it's just like really like interesting to like spark ideas, because like all the cards kind of have like things on them, like, and there's two sides to them, and depending on which way you flip it, they like mean different things, and you do like spreads, and I feel like I feel so cool because I'm like, oh man, I'm like one of those tarot people that like fucking accept it's for my characters instead of me trying to do tarot reading for actual people. It's for shit I'm writing instead.
Hell yeah, that rules.
Yeah.
Alright, that's gonna do it for this week's episode of Fear Baiting. Morg, thank you so much for being on.
Hell yeah, thanks for having me.
Where can people find you if they are so inclined?
You can find me on Twitter and Tumblr, I guess, but I use Twitter a lot more, at Haunting the Morgue. Haunting it, and the how they sound, and then Morgue is MORG. Yeah, and I'll probably at some point be tweeting about stuff I'm going to be doing in the future, like maybe an American Horror Story podcast. So you might catch me on a podcast in the future of my own making.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
If you want to find us elsewhere, we are Fearbaiting on Twitter and also at Gmail and also on Patreon if you'd like to support the podcast. $1 a month is sometimes early access, but most of the time just a tip jar. $5 a month gets you a message read on the podcast and also your name read on at the end of the show. $10 a month gets you all that shit, and also you can make us watch a movie of your choosing. Please, someone demand that we watch some garbage. And thank you very much. So, without further ado, thank you very much to Kit Spindler, Ducky Aisha, Paul Moran, Michael Kaiser, and Paul Bechtel. Thank you so much for your love. We have no choice but to stand. If you want to find me elsewhere, I am on Twitter at SunhatGenia, and you can also listen to me on the other podcast I do on the wonderful Noisepace.xyz network. Thank you, Matt GameCube, for it. Check me out on Henry Kissinger's Pokemon Going to Die. I just recorded an episode yesterday, and it's going to be it's going to be out a couple of... Anyways, go listen to the most recent episode of Henry Kissinger's Pokemon Going to Die. Also, it's a leftism podcast for a lot of people. There's a lot of people on the podcast. There's a big...
Not a threat, just a fact.
Not a threat, just a fact. It's a big podcast. It's a good podcast.
It's good. I listened to it. Trust me.
Thank you. You can also listen to the Wonder Years, which is the Animorphs podcast I do with friend of the pod, frequent editor of the pod, Blair, and also Seda, who so graciously provided our intro and outro music. Thank you very much, Seda. I kind of went out of order, but I think that's everything.
Yeah.
So I guess until next week. Right. I wanted to mention bit of a programming note. This show is going to be taking a hiatus, I guess, in question marks, after I'm going to finish this slew of guests in November, and then December and January will be no schedule. I still have a couple of things planned. I have a couple of friends who want to come on, but I don't want to stick myself to a schedule for a little while. I could use a break, honestly. So...
I mean, it makes sense. That's like holiday time.
So there will be a couple episodes in that gap, but we will not be regularly scheduled. And so I just wanted to let everyone know. Of course, the Patreon will be paused and everything, so you won't be getting charged for that. But yeah, so until next week, I'm Sara.
I'm Morg.
And remember,
you can put a fucked up guy anywhere.
Good night, everyone.